This is an ABC 12 News special report.
Good morning. We interrupt regular programming with breaking news of a deadly shooting at a residence hall at Central Michigan University in Mount Pleasant.
Well, according to state police, 2 people are dead, and that alert went out about 9:30 this morning at Campbell Hall. ABC 12's Terry Campbell joins us live now. Terry, what can you tell us?
Christine, we're here at the Central Michigan University in front of the towers. This is where 4 dorms are situated. And this is Campbell Hall behind me. And this is where this shooting happened. It was around 9 o'clock where police say a man, described as a man about 5'9", a black male, was in the dorm, shot 2 people to death, then ran out of the campus, ran out of the dormitory, and now the search continues for the man on campus. It appears he ran north onto the campus near High Road, near railroad tracks, and that's where police are now starting to center their search. We have every type of law enforcement agency in the mid-Michigan area, actually in the state here, trying to find that man, trying to figure out exactly what happened. The man is described as he's got a blue hoodie on, and he is may have got rid of that blue hoodie during this chase that the police are actively pursuing him. Helicopters all over the place. I see the Michigan State Police helicopter in the air right now trying to track down where this man is. So Central Michigan students are told to stay in place, stay away from campus. This is the beginning of spring break here. This was a very light day on campus as far as classes. Next week they're going on spring break. But we're told behind me, Troutman Hall is back here. That dormitory is on lockdown right now, and people are just being told to stay in place as police continue to investigate this situation. So what we know right now, 2 people shot to death here at Campbell Hall around 9 o'clock this morning. The search for the gunman continues. We are hearing reports of injuries, although nothing substantiated yet by police, so we're continuing to work on that as well. So we'll keep you posted on this situation here at Central Michigan University throughout the day. Larry, Christine?
Terry, now I know this is a very fluid scene right now, and I'm hoping you can hear me. Is there any concern that the shooter perhaps may be in one of the buildings on campus, or do they pretty much believe he's out running somewhere or hiding out of the building somewhere?
They believe that they've actually seen him around the railroad tracks. There was actually a sighting of him, so I don't think they're too concerned that he's in any building right now. They believe he's out running around somewhere around campus. Again, trying to set this up, we're sort of like on the south part of Central Michigan campus. The place where he was seen was on the northern part of the campus, so we're going to try to move over there in just a bit.
And I understand that he had a handgun with him and is believed to still have that with him right now?
Yes, he is considered armed and dangerous by the Central Michigan University Police. So if anyone sees him, please do not approach him. Just try to call 911 and the police will come try to track him down.
Now, Terry, I know that Campbell Hall is considered part of the towers on campus, the biggest residence complex on campus. I know those rooms right behind you there are 4-person, single bedroom, 2-bathroom suites with a shared living room. We had originally understood that this happened on the 4th floor. Do you know any more about where exactly in the building it happened?
No, don't know if it happened in a dorm room. Don't know if it happened in a hallway. We don't, but we did hear the 4th floor. I think police have confirmed that it was on the 4th floor, and that again, man must have run out of the building and now is part of an active search here on the Central Michigan campus.
All right, and Terry, we have some updated information just in from CMU police. They say that those shot were not students, and police believe the situation started as a domestic situation. The campus still on lockdown, as we saw, but they are looking for James Eric Davis Jr., and his whereabouts right now are not known. Now, Terry, when you look outside there, it looks pretty desolate. There are students abiding by the stay-in-place order?
Yes, there are some students still in the area. There are a lot of reporters here, but yes, there are some students still in place at this location. Going back to what you just said there, the updated information from police, that is one thing I was not necessarily hesitant to say, but the one thing I have heard from some of my sources on this story is that the two victims may have been parents of coming to pick up a student here for spring break. So if that's what the police are saying now, that students are not the victims, that would kind of go in line with what my sources have been telling me about who was shot.
All right, Terry, we're going to ask you to stand by right there because we do have Haley Thompson, a CMU student from Davison, on the phone right now. Haley, where were you when all this started?
I was actually just in my dorm. We woke up to sirens and stuff, and then we immediately got a call after telling us that everybody needs to kind of be on lockdown because in, I think, Campbell Hall on the 4th floor, there was a shooting.
And how far are you from that dormitory?
We're just across the street, actually.
What's everybody feeling right now? Are you with a group of other students right now? What's the feeling right there?
Everyone is so anxious. Everyone's just kind of running around. We have people knocking on our doors. I have family members that I haven't talked to in a long time calling me. I think after the Parkland shooting, everyone's so on edge. We actually just received an email saying James Eric Davis is the one who that's what fired. My roommate just texted me saying she knew him, so that's crazy. This
is a tweet we're looking at right now from Mount Pleasant Police with that suspect's description. Again, armed and dangerous. If you see anybody who even closely resembles him, be sure to call 911 right away.
And we're told several law enforcement agencies, local and state there. We heard earlier, Terry, you could hear the choppers above searching the ground as they do look for Davis. And we are also going to show you a quick tweet from Governor Snyder, who says he's also in contact with state police and as they work with local law enforcement to determine what happened at that CMU. And Snyder says the priority right now, safety of those still on campus, and he also thanked first responders for their quick action after this went out. Now
let's get back to Terry Camp, who's live on scene right now. Terry, describe the police presence there, if you would, and I have to believe there's a somewhat of an eeriness on campus right now, in addition to just the feeling of the threat.
Yes, it's actually kind of quiet, Larry. Actually kind of quiet around here. Yes, but less. A lot of law enforcement vehicles, state police cars. Mount Pleasant City Police Department is here. Central Michigan University, Isabella County Sheriff's Department. So yeah, quite an active scene as far as law enforcement. But it's kind of quiet here. This is the first staging area for the media. We're going to move now to the Bovee Center. So we're going to try to head on out right now and try to figure out exactly where the search for this gunman stands. I think that's the most important thing right now is where is this guy and when will police be able to track him down?
All right, now, Terry, before you go, can you just, what is it, what hall is it we're seeing right behind you? Is that Campbell Hall? And if you could, can you kind of do a 360 with the camera so we can get a feel for where you are and what it looks like around you?
Can we do a 360 with the camera? Okay, Eric Fletcher here has got my phone. We're going to try to show you that is Campbell Hall right there. That is the front of the hall right there. It does not, after everything you've heard that's happened here, it doesn't look like that active of a scene. It might be on the other side of the building that we're seeing some of the more law enforcement activity. But that's Campbell, and of course on the other side are Troutman and the other halls that consist of the towers. So again, we got police still in this area, but again, this is starting to quiet down a little bit over here. We're going to start moving here in just a second as some cars kind of drive close by here. So I think we're going to try to wrap it up from here and start to move to that other area. Okay, Larry, Christine?
All right, Terry, thank you. Thank you for reporting. We'll get back to you as soon as you get moved to a different location. We were talking with Haley Thompson just a minute ago from Davison, indicating they're getting a lot of their information right now from social media. We have one more from Central Michigan University on the phone right now, another Davison student. Austin Simowitz is joining us. Austin, where are you in general right now, and what are you seeing right there?
I'm currently in the Village of Bluegrass Apartments, just about less than a mile from campus. I'm locked in my bathroom right now, and I woke up to the call. I got a call from CMU police that I woke up to, and as soon as I heard that, I had just gotten out of the shower, so I just went back into the bathroom.
Did you have any initial thought that, hey, maybe this is just a drill?
No, I didn't hear anything about a drill. I just heard active shooter at Campbell Hall on the 4th floor, so there was no drill warning or whatsoever, so I immediately thought, okay, this is probably something that's happening.
And tell us more about that message that you received that prompted you to go and take shelter.
When I first got it, there wasn't really any description on the shooter. All I knew is I knew exactly where Campbell Hall was. I had lived there last year on the 1st floor. So as soon as I heard that, I knew it wasn't that far away from the apartments that I'm at right now, and I was just about to get ready to leave to go back home to Davidson, but I just decided to stay put until this died down.
Now, are there others in the building there with you that you know of?
No, most of my friends have either gone home or they're not at that dormitorium. I've been in contact with most of them, and everyone that I've talked to so far is safe, and they're staying put right now with their roommates, which is a relief.
Now tell us, you said that you lived in Campbell Hall, so tell us a little bit about that building, kind of the layout and what you see when you go in through the doors and what police are having to, lock down and control.
Well, it's like at the back of the towers. It's one of the dorms where they have like each student gets one room and their own, and there's 2 bathrooms. I never really went up towards the 4th floor or anywhere higher. I was mostly just stayed on my floor. Yeah, it's just really close to get into, and all the towers are connected. So like you go from from Campbell, like you can just walk into the middle area, and then there's like you can go to the other 3 towers just from that area, but you'd have to go down the stairs from the 4th floor though.
All right, and we want to also ask about the students getting ready to go on spring break next week. So what is the atmosphere of campus before all of this happened? Is Friday kind of a day to where a lot of people are traveling? Maybe are they going to class? What is it normally like?
Well, I was supposed to have a class today at 1 p.m., but obviously that's not going to happen anymore probably. I think everyone was very excited. I had friends who left yesterday, so they were just getting an early start on their spring break. I was going to leave after my class was over. But I feel like before this happened, I feel like everyone was just excited to get a break from just studying and doing a lot of work. Midterms had just happened. So I think everyone was just happy to get a break, but you don't realize how scary it is until you're actually in that situation. So
Austin, how are you holding up?
I'm all right. I'm doing okay. I'm in contact with all my family. I'm letting everyone know I'm safe. I'm making sure everyone knows that, like, I'm making sure all my friends are safe. I'm making sure that as soon as I hear anything, I let everyone know, and then I just want to get out of here as quickly as possible.
All right, do be safe while you're there. Prayers are with you right now. We appreciate you taking a couple of minutes with us. Coincidentally, we were preparing a program this morning on school security and active shooter situations, and we have with us in the studio Mark Warren from Strategos International in Kansas City, Missouri, who trains school staff, teachers, the like, how to handle situations like this, and Detective Sergeant Todd Elliott from Battle Creek Police, and yes, the name does sound familiar. Todd happens to be my son as well, but is a detective sergeant with Battle Creek Police, and Todd actually trains teachers, has been trained by Mark. Mark, give me your assessment of what you know about the situation right now on CMU campus. What do you think is happening there?
Well, Todd and I were talking, and obviously you're trying to fill in pieces and have limited information, but even before that was reported, we both felt like it was probably domestically related. So, to what extent, especially now with the report that, it's not students that's being reported. So it makes it difficult to kind of put those pieces together. But the reality for the people that are there, it really doesn't matter what the motivations were. Their actions, their response has to be the same. And that is, in order to keep themselves safe, not to feel safe, but to be safe, there's certain things they should be doing. And obviously, staying in a locked and secured space. If you're closer to where the actual incident occurred in the same residence hall, we believe the suspect has left the area, but I would still say barricade until you know that it's the police at that door getting ready to bring you out for that organized evacuation.
Now, I know you literally train people all over the world for situations like this. Is there pretty much a standard protocol that you advise teachers and students that they should follow in a situation like this?
Yes, and that's, you know, Todd was trained in that same protocol, and that's what we train the teachers. What you're doing in a lockdown specifically is you're putting a process in place that gives you a better likelihood for a good outcome. And what tends to happen, though, is teachers feel safe simply behind a closed and locked door. We want them to do more than that. And so when you look at the overall process of a lockdown, it's really designed to, one, remove people from the threat, isolate the threat from other areas, then get an accounting of people, and then an organized evacuation. So that's the overall process that we're attempting to control, because we have no control over the outcome.
Now, Todd, when you're training people like this, when you're training teachers and school staff, you can go through the mechanics of what they should do. Do you deal with the psychological part of it as well?
Very much so. That's almost more of an issue than the actual physical process of showing them how to do a lockdown, is getting them to realize, A, this is happening, and B, I need to do something about it right now.
And how do you go about dealing with the mental part of it, with the psychological part?
Part of our training is we started off with a lecture, and we talk about the history of school shootings and other active shooters and what has been done in the past that has not worked, both on the teacher side, on the educational institution side, and on law enforcement side. And we show them, this is what's happened before and this hasn't worked. This is what you do now and this is how it will work. And we reinforce that by running them through exercises and showing them how to barricade the doors and how to support themselves.
How would you look at the work now being done in so many districts to do this type of training? Is it enough?
I don't know if it's ever enough until we can stop this from happening, but it is certainly much better than what we were doing 5-10 years ago. Anything people are doing is better than nothing.
Thank you, Larry. You know, we just have confirmation now from CMU police that there are no additional victims, and that was put out in a tweet. As you can see there, they confirmed that the two people who were shot and killed this morning were not students. They believe this stemmed from some sort of a domestic situation, and the manhunt continues for the suspect, 19-year-old James Eric Davis. Meanwhile, at the school's on lockdown. Nearby public schools are on lockdown. We have a student standing by on the phone who is one of those among them, Austin Eaton. He's in Chilani Hall. And Austin, can you tell us right now what the setup is there and how people are staying secure?
They called us early in the morning and they put us on lockdown, and so we've been in our rooms ever since. But where it happened is about a quarter mile away from my hall. I'm in Chilani Hall as of now.
And what are you hearing? Where are you getting your updates from the situation and what's happening?
CMU keeps calling me from my phone, and then they also call our room on our room phone.
And can you tell us, you know, spring break starts next week. Were there a lot of people in the dormitories at this time? Would they be in class?
Yes, people are still in their dorms for sure, because it's Friday classes, and everyone that was in class is in lockdown mode still as of now.
All right, and can you tell us, you know, how is everybody holding up?
I mean, it's definitely not good. Like, one of my roommates is locked down in class right now. I mean, I know he's safe, but it's still scary.
Yeah, we do have our crews there. We have Ann Brett standing by live for us from Bovee Center. And Ann, we know we're waiting on an update from police. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you're expecting?
We should expect that update here in about 10 minutes at 11:40 here at the Bovee Center. Now, we just arrived on campus. Walking in, it was very quiet, very eerie. Campus is still on lockdown. You can't see anybody. We were ushered quickly into the Bovee Center here, ushered into a back room where, again, we are expecting to hear from the university. Actually, it's not clear if police will be here. We are hearing that police are still searching for that suspect, so no update from them at this time. But again, no injuries except for 2 dead, and those 2 dead are not students. the person of interest still on the loose at this time. Again, police are looking for him. We will hear from the university about their how they responded to this, how the students in Campbell Hall are doing at this time. Again, the hall where this shooting took place this morning. So stay with us here on ABC 12. Again, we are in the Bovee Center where we are expecting that update in about 9 minutes now.
All right, and if you would describe what it was like as you were approaching Mount Pleasant and getting onto the MSU campus. Describe what you saw, what it felt like.
It was eerie. It was very eerie, Larry. There was nobody outside. We saw maybe 2 cars driving around, one being police. The other person immediately stopped when they saw our news van. They stopped to let us come through. We pulled up to the Bovee Center here, several media on site from across the state, again, waiting for the latest information. But very eerie. You can't see anybody, no students, no cars. This campus is still on a very secure lockdown at this time.
So, Ann, I was thinking, did you see parents, maybe right outside the school gates being turned away, or was it just quiet all the way around?
No, quiet all the way around. And we are told, this is the day before spring break. We're told parents are expected to go from the university. They told them to go to the Comfort Inn, and there will be staff there from the university to comfort parents who might be coming here today to pick up their students for spring break. But again, nobody outside. We parked in the parking lot. We're there for about 5 minutes gathering ours technology to come inside here for this update at 11:40, and we were ushered in very quickly, very quietly. Again, no one that we saw on campus except for one car who again let us go first, and then that one police car as well.
All right, Ann Perrett live. Thank you. We'll let you get ready for that press conference.
ABC 12 News at 5, starting with breaking news.
He was wearing yellow-colored jeans or mustard-colored jeans and a blue hoodie. He believes that he had a pistol in his waistband.
The quiet of an early Friday morning shattered at Central Michigan University. Police jump into action, a shooting on the Mount Pleasant campus, and 2 people are dead. Right now, the search for James Eric Davis Jr. is still underway. It's believed he killed his own parents when they came to pick him up for spring break. Our team coverage of today's campus shooting begins at CMU. My partner, Matt Franklin, is there now. Matt, such an emotional day for parents and students. Help us understand what's happening right now.
Hi, Angie. A very sad day here at Central Michigan University for not only the staff and faculty and students here, but also for the entire Mount Pleasant community. You can hear that the helicopter is still overhead here on campus, and police are still actively searching for that man. This all happened here at the Campbell Hall near the Towers complex on the 4th floor. Police have pretty much emptied most of the building except for the 4th floor. It's still considered an active crime scene. Sadly, the bodies are still here. And believe it or not, in the 9 weeks since 2018 began, this is reportedly the 12th shooting at a school. Now, students were told to shelter in place after word of the shooting started getting around about 8:30 this morning, which left James Eric Davis Sr. and Diva Davis dead. We did learn from a press conference this afternoon they are from Illinois. There is an intense search for James Eric Davis Jr., as you mentioned, that got underway. As a matter of fact, during 4 o'clock live shot, we saw a large number of police officers leave the scene in a hurry. They are focusing most of their search on the north side of the city, which is why they want people to remain very vigilant. They want the students that are remaining here during spring break to remain vigilant as well and to keep their eyes and ears open, especially as we get into nightfall. Central Michigan University police say that they had an incident connected with Davis last night.
The CMU Police Department did have contact with the involved individual last evening. At some point in the evening, he was transported to McLaren Hospital due to what the officers believed may be a drug-related type incident, an overdose or a bad reaction to drugs. At that point, he was released to the hospital staff.
And they did make a clarification. He was actually taken to a University of Michigan facility here on campus. Still a lot of unknowns, a lot of questions being asked about how he was able to get a weapon into his dorm room. CMU is a gun-free zone, and police are continuing to search for him. They did find some clothing near a railroad track, and that's why they are going towards the north side of the city and focusing their search there. The search for Davis has been going on, and it's been very intense. Let's go down to ABC 12's Terry Camp. He has that part of our team coverage. Terry.
Yeah, Matt, we're at the railroad track that you were talking about on the north part of the campus. Actually, we're probably a little ways off campus. We're certainly in Mount Pleasant right now, but the railroad track's behind me, and this is one of the last locations that police believe that Eric Davis was last seen. And as you look behind me, we do have a police officer back there. There have been police officers in this location all day long trying to see if they can find the suspect in this case, but so far they have not been able to locate him at all. Again, he is believed to be armed and dangerous. James Eric Davis Jr. This is an intense situation as the Michigan State Police helicopter has been flying over the northern part of the campus pretty much since 10 o'clock. I don't hear the helicopter right now, but it's been over us pretty much all day. This is the area where police believe Davis is hiding. At one time, a number of officers in camouflage went into a home not far from this wooded area. They had shields and guns drawn, but they yelled at someone in the house. However, no one came out, and the door-to-door search continued on this north part of the town.
I mean, even though I don't live in the dorm, like just waking up this morning to like the recording call from Central, it was just so shocking. Like it didn't seem real, honestly. And knowing that 2 people lost their lives this morning in that dorm is haunting, absolutely haunting.
Yeah, and again, Eric is shooting off in the direction of this wooded area where, again, the police think that he was last seen, and they had a pretty intense search in this area a while ago, a few hours ago, found nothing, but we still have police officers still in this area searching this woods. It's a little swampy. Of course, we've had some rain in the area lately, so a tough area to search, but the police continue to look here, and again, people are told in this area to stay inside until Davis is captured. For now, we're live in Mount Pleasant. Terry Camp, ABC 12 News.
All right, Terry, and I want you to take a look at something. This is one example of what students at CMU did today. Quick thinking. They grabbed a chair, hockey equipment, heavy things just to barricade themselves inside the dorm room when they heard those shots. Our coverage now continuing now with ABC 12's Ann Perrettin. And you talked a lot with students today about what they had to deal with, scary moments considering what we just came off of the past few weeks. I'm sure there's a lot of fear going through their heads when they heard those shots.
Certainly, Matt, and that barricading that you talked about, I spoke to a student, a junior here, Whitney Smith. She lives on the 5th floor of this building, and she said that the shooting took place just below her on the 4th floor.
Definitely very appreciative for the locks that we have on our doors, so I was able to padlock the front door as well as my own personal door. And so it's crazy to think that this happened so close to home.
Smith also putting several pieces of furniture up against her door. She says she didn't hear anything but woke up around 9 to several missed phone calls and texts making sure that she was okay. Her roommates have already left for spring break, so she was alone, locked inside her dorm today. Smith says she actually met the alleged shooter, James Eric Davis Jr., a few times when they shared the elevator. She didn't believe he's the suspect.
I honestly didn't. It just seemed like a normal guy just going up to his room like anybody else. Seems very nice, would carry on a normal conversation if we were just talking in the elevator. Nothing really seemed too off from my opinion.
Now, Smith credits CMU with keeping her informed throughout the day through email, phone calls, and of course on social media. Police did escort her out of this building and a number of other residents here around 2:45 today. Now, coming up at 6, even though she was surprised Davis is the alleged shooter, she was not surprised he was able to get that weapon into this dorm building. For now, live in Mount Pleasant, I'm Ann Perrettin, ABC 12 News.
Covering Flint, Saginaw, and Bay City, this is ABC 12 News at 6. Starting with breaking news.
Please do not approach him. We can consider him to be armed and dangerous at this point.
This is the suspect, 19-year-old James Eric Davis Jr. He is accused of shooting and killing his own parents on the Central Michigan University campus. And at this hour, he is still on the run from police. This all happened at 8:30 this morning at Campbell Hall, and CMU has been on lockdown ever since. Right now, students are only being released from campus through what police call a slow and methodical process with uniformed officers. My co-anchor Matt Franklin is on campus along with 3 additional ABC 12 reporters covering all the developments from every angle. Here is a quick look at what we know right now. The shooter, James Eric Davis Jr., is a student from the Chicago area and is accused of killing his mother and father. No students, staff, or faculty were hurt in the incident. Surveillance cameras captured him running north along the railroad tracks. Police finding clothes that were shed along the way. Police gave their last update during a press conference at 4 o'clock. Our Matt Franklin is live from Campbell Hall to kick off our coverage tonight. Matt, what else can you tell us as all of this continues to unfold in front of your eyes?
Angie, just like you said, there is an intense search going on right now for 19-year-old James Eric Davis Jr. Police believe that he is responsible for the deaths of his parents, James Eric Davis Sr. and Diva Davis. All this happening on the 4th floor right behind me here at Campbell Hall. If you can push in, Tommy, it happened right there where that window is open. What happened in that room that caused the shooting? That's what police want to know. They want to know, we do know that Davis Jr. was hospitalized last night for a drug-related incident. It's not clear for legal or illegal. Campus was on lockdown for several hours after Davis took off. Eventually, students, they were escorted by police to a nearby hotel where they were reunited with family and friends. That is also where we caught up with the president of Central Michigan University, Dr. George Ross.
This is an aberration. It's sad, but I believe our folks responded in protecting students and faculty and staff and community members. We reacted immediately with the lockdown and in protecting of human life on this campus today.
I don't know if you can hear it right now, but there's a police helicopter that's still in the air. It's been circling for several hours as that manhunt continues for that student. Many of the students, they were gone for spring break, but there were some classes still going on this afternoon. Here's the message that some of those students got by phone.
The CMU Police Department is responding to a report of shots fired near the 4th floor area of Campbell Hall. Again, a report of shots fired near the 4th floor area of Campbell Hall. Please stay clear of the area.
CMU police say there are well over 100 officers from multiple agencies working as we speak to find James Eric Davis Jr. Again, he is considered armed and dangerous. ABC 12's Terry Camp has been sticking close to law enforcement teams awaiting his arrest. And Terry, they've certainly been pretty focused on the area north of campus.
That's right. It's the woods behind me, Angie, that they've been really looking at over the last several hours. That's where the railroad tracks here. That's where they believe James Eric Davis was supposedly running along when he vanished. The last time he was seen was about right here. There are still police in this wooded area. You can't see them, but they're out there. It's about a mile north of Campbell Hall where the shooting took place. Now, we learned it was along the stretch that police found the blue hoodie sweatshirt that Davis was wearing. Police, canine units, and the Michigan State Police helicopter have been in this area pretty much since about 10 o'clock this morning. Still no sign of Davis, though. They have even been doing searches of homes, an intense one where police were shouting to anyone inside to come out. No one did, and Davis was not inside. People in the area have been told to stay in their homes, but curiosity has gotten the best of them.
I can't believe they haven't caught him yet. I mean, it's been a few hours now, so I don't know.
It was just really frightening. I actually lived over in Campbell my freshman year, so just thinking about that happening in the dorms, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, so that search continues for Davis back in the woods behind me right here. Again, we've seen a lot of activity for police off and on through the afternoon. We do not see any police officers now, but believe me, they're out there. They are looking for Davis right now. For now, we're live in Mount Pleasant. Terry Camp, ABC 12 News.
All right, thank you. We are going to pause for a moment now to share what we have learned about the shooter, James Eric Davis Jr. He is just 19 years old, a sophomore at CMU. He is from Plainfield, Illinois, a small town about an hour west of Chicago. Davis graduated in 2016 from Plainfield Central High School. We have also found photos of his parents, the victims in all of this. His father, James Davis Sr., was a part-time police officer with the Bellwood, Illinois department. He was 49 years old. And here's his mother, 47-year-old Diva Davis. According to her Facebook page, she's a former flight attendant who recently started to sell real estate.
Back here live on campus, Angie, you know, today marked the first day of spring break for many students here at Central Michigan University. Many of them that were still here finishing up classes, they were alarmed by getting that message that there was a shooting that happened here on campus. ABC 12's Amy Hybels has more on the many parents that were being reunited with their students once they learned about what happened here at the Comfort Inn.
That's right, Matt. They actually set that up as a staging area, kind of a point of reunification, if you will, to allow parents to meet up with their children in a safe space. And at first, in the immediate aftermath, this is where all of the students were instructed to go. Now, we managed to catch up with a mother-daughter. The daughter tells us she lives in Cobb Hall, right across from Campbell. She says that she actually heard the gunshots. The mother tells us she couldn't get to campus soon enough.
Before I knew about like the extent of the situation, I'm like, I hope nobody shut up my door. I don't want my phone to ring. I made sure I locked my door and like turned off my lights. And like we have a landline, I don't hook it from the wall because I'm like, I don't want it to ring and they know I'm in here because it was just like so scary. Like, oh my God, you never know what you're gonna do or how you'll react in a situation like this. So
it might be somebody playing a joke and there's some firecrackers, but then we realized it was gunshots and I could not get up here quick enough.
She told us actually she wished that she could have jumped on a helicopter. That's how anxious that mother was to get here in the aftermath of the shooting. Now, we just came from North Campus where we talked with some students that are walking out of the dorms on their own accord. They said they are now allowed to leave at their own risk. They are not going over to the Comfort Inn. We met up with a father-daughter in the parking lot. He had driven in and just picked up his child. So they are being allowed to leave on their own right now if they so choose. Some are insisting on a police escort. There were about 13 Michigan State Police troopers over there helping the kids leave the dormitory over on North Campus, but a lot of them are just leaving on their own. As they tell us, it's been a very long day for them here on campus. Reporting live, I'm Amy Hybels. Back to you at the studio.
Thank you, Amy. Our hearts certainly go out to all the parents and children, everyone on campus tonight.
Got a break in this case by someone that was riding on a train that was passing through the north side of campus. When they noticed the suspect, they reached out to authorities. They contacted them. Police responded and ended up taking him into custody without incident. Now, his arrest follows a manhunt that lasted for more than 12 hours on Friday, involving multiple agencies, including the ATF and the FBI. The search had police combing wooded areas in the nearby railroad tracks. News of his arrest was greeted with relief early this morning.
I know some of the girls were really hesitant coming into work. It's just nerve-wracking. You know, we're walking to our cars alone. It's dark. You don't know what's out there. So I'm really glad that the streets are safe again. I really am.
She's not alone. I tell you what, a lot of the neighbors that we spoke with in this area last night were definitely on edge as the manhunt continued throughout the late evening hours. Now, we have learned that there will be a press conference this morning that will take place at 10:30 right here on campus, and we will be there. Reporting live in Mount Pleasant, Amy Hybels, ABC 12 News.
Thanks for that update, Amy. Well, police say they have had contact with Davis before that shooting happened inside Campbell Hall, leaving Davis's parents, James Eric Davis Sr. and Diva Davis, dead. Here's what CMU police said about their encounter with Davis Thursday night.
The CMU Police Department did have contact with the involved individual last evening. At some point in the evening, he was transported to McLaren Hospital due to what the officers believed may be a drug-related type incident, an overdose or a bad reaction to drugs. At that point, he was released to the hospital staff.
And last night, the sister of the suspect, the daughter of the victims, sent this emotional tweet with 4 pictures of her parents attached. She says, in quote, "Today I lost my parents, the only people that loved me unconditionally. I'm thankful for every single thing they've done for me. Keep my family in your prayers. She added, "You don't have to stress no more, Mom and Dad. I love you."